So Borderlands 4 is one of the newer Borderlands games coming out later this year. The game is still being currently developed as of now, and the game is supposed to come out, I believe, at some point in September, towards the end of this year, maybe towards the middle of the year. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking forward to this game. I really am. I really do enjoy playing the Borderlands games. I played a lot of Borderlands 3 and a nice handful of Borderlands 2, and I'm really excited for Borderlands 4 coming out. I really am. But just because I'm excited for this game, that doesn't mean I'm gonna remain cautious and I'm gonna keep my guard up for this game because I have a sus feeling that something bad might happen. Now, of course, Gearbox did come out with a recent PR statement, and of course, it has not been well received, which, go figure, usually when any PR department comes out and opens their mouths, usually everyone automatically jumps the gun and thinks, oh god, here we go with another corporate statement from these PR teams. So there's been a little bit of a controversy surrounding Borderlands 4 and the PR statement that the head honcho of Gearbox has said, and correct me if I'm wrong about this part, but I believe the head honcho of Gearbox is Randy Pitchford. I hope I pronounced his name right. And he came out with a statement about being a true fan or a real fan. Like, oh, if you're a true fan, you'll get the game regardless. Or if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to buy the game at a ridiculous price point. And of course, we can all speculate due to the recent controversy surrounding the Switch 2 and its price point, and the controversy surrounding Microsoft and the $80 price point. I think some people like myself can safely assume that the game is gonna possibly cost $80, and people like myself are gonna be thinking like, oh dear god, are we seriously gonna have to pay an absurd amount of money just to play a video game here? Like, oh dear god. So there's an article that I do want to read to you folks that highlights this situation and talks about it. So this article does come from nintendolife.com, and if you want to read the article for yourself, I will, of course, leave a link in the description down below so you folks can go check it out. So, like I said, this article comes from nintendolife.com. I'm going to read it to you folks, and then we will discuss. Following concerns that the upcoming Borderlands 4 would match the Mario Kart World's $80 price tag, Gearbox software founder Randy Pitchford has proved a pretty tone-deaf response on social media when a fan addressed the topic directly. As covered by IGN, Pitchford stated that if you're a real fan, you'll find a way. When addressing the potential $80 price for Borderlands 4, he notes that he was able to do the same thing for Starflight on the Sega Genesis back in 1991. Pitchford commented down below about as well as you expected. One user replied with, no way you actually said this shit. It was censored out, but let's keep going. While another said, as if someone who's been a big supporter of this franchise, this is a slap in the face. It's important to note that the price tag for Borderlands 4 hasn't been finalized at the time of this writing, but Take Two's boss Stratus Zelnick, I hope I pronounced his name right, has not ruled it out, stating that people would be willing to pay for the very best. There is no current release date for Borderlands 4 on the Switch 2, but the game is scheduled to launch on other platforms later this year on the 12th of September 2025. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, one important thing that we can take away from this article is that the price tag has not been completely finalized just yet. So, it could possibly cost $80, but like the article said, it has not been finalized. So the game could possibly cost $70, maybe $60. I highly doubt that will happen, but it's more likely going to cost $70. But of course, with the direction that the gaming industry is going in, I think for some people, we can safely assume that this game could possibly cost $80. But like I said in the article that I just read, it has not been finalized, so there's a slim chance. But of course, there is still the possibility because you got to look back at the recent track record that the gaming industry has gone in. Companies like Nintendo has ushered in the new $80 price tag for all their games going forward, especially because Nintendo, they never lowered the prices on any of their games, no matter what happens. And then we had Microsoft following in Nintendo's suit, and they're increasing the price point of their games for $80. So it makes me think, I wonder if Gearbox is going to increase the price point for Borderlands 4 to $80. I mean, games have always costed $60 for like my entire lifetime. And then we had the big jump to $70, and then the $70 price tag did not last that long. And now we have the $80 price tag for video games going forward now. So it makes me think, I wonder now if Borderlands 4 could possibly cost $80. But of course, only time will be able to tell to see if that $80 price tag is a reality for Borderlands 4 or not. Now, I'm going to say this right now. There's no way I'm going to be buying Borderlands 4 if it's $80 or $70 even. I still refuse to buy $70 games. And if you think that Borderlands 4 is going to cost $80, and if the $80 price tag rumor is true for Borderlands 4, then I'm just going to outright avoid it, and I'm just going to wait for a price drop for the game. It's that simple. I still refuse to buy $70 games, and I will not be buying $80 games. I would rather make a full transition to indie developers and just buy games at like $40 or less rather than waste my entire bank savings account or my life savings on like one or two games a month, if not one or two games a year, just because of how overpriced that video games have gotten now. And that's the sad truth. We have now gotten to a point within the game industry, and these corporations are demanding that we pay more money for video games. But yet, people like myself can clearly see that no, this is way overpriced. Why would I want to buy this? And yet, people like Randy Pitchford thinks he can come out of nowhere and just say, "Oh, hey, you're a true fan if you buy $80 games. You're going to be a true fan if you buy it at a high price. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it work. But however, if you don't buy games at $80 or higher, you're not a true fan. You're not a true fan of Borderlands if you don't buy games at $80." Now, this is going to be my response to that horrendous statement to Randy Pitchford about, oh, you'll be a true fan of Borderlands if you buy the game at a high price. Hey, Randy Pitchford, guess what? If you think I'm going to pay $70 or $80 for Borderlands 4, that's never gonna happen, buddy. I'm not gonna buy Borderlands 4 unless you drop the prices or put the game on sale. Like I said at the very start of this video, I do want to get Borderlands 4 and I do want to play it. But if the game's gonna cost $70 or $80, there's no way I'm gonna buy it. That's just way too much. I would rather waste $80 on two indie developer games, hell, maybe even three indie developer games, like Balatro, Cult of the Lamb, or games like Dave the Diver. I would rather waste my money on those games rather than paying an absurd amount for one video game. Like, I could get myself three indie developer video games at $80 instead of getting one video game for $80. Hell, I could get myself like three or five indie developer games for like $70 even, rather than paying $70 for one video game. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to waste an absurd amount of money on one video game when I can just go buy a nice handful of video games at a much cheaper price. And yet, people like Randy Pitchford thinks he can get away with such a stupid PR statement about, oh, you're not a true fan if you don't buy the Borderlands game. Only true fans will find a way to buy Borderlands regardless. So, I guess this means I'm not a quote unquote true fan in Randy Pitchford's eyes, so it looks like I'm going to be saving up my money once again. Now, look, if Borderlands 4 goes on sale, maybe I'll pick up the game, but chances are the game is probably going to cost $70 or $80, but as of now, only time will tell. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening, and until next time, I'm talking about Borderlands 4, and I'll see you all later.